This is my 2010 Chevy Suburban. I'm getting ready to Raptor line it. Let's see. It got hit in the front, and I changed the fenders to aftermarket eBay fenders, and try to paint it myself. But it's very hard to match the clear coat perfectly with the old clear coat. And, a friend of mine suggested lining it. And, I saw a bunch of videos online about it. And I thought, why not? So, sanded it all down, took off all the, I had a bunch of chrome pieces on it, took them off. I'm going to two-tone it. I'm going to two-tone it back. I'm going to, so the lining here, I'm going to do red. The window guards that go in the shaft, I go in the groove, I'm gonna do those red bed liner. The door handles, I'm gonna do red. I think that's it for the sides. The roof rack, I took the roof rack off, and I'm gonna do the roof rack red as well. I'm gonna do the roof rack red as well. I'm gonna do the top of this red, the Chevy emblem. I'm gonna do black. This, I think I'm going to do black as well. And I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it for the two-tone. And I'm going to do this red as well. I got one bottle of the red, the tintable Raptor liner, and 8 bottles of the other. I've seen a guy do it to his FJ Cruiser, and he didn't use that many bottles. So I think this should be enough. I think 8 bottles should do more than enough. I'm also going to clean under my wheel wells, and if I have enough left, I'm going to do under the wheel wells as well, because why not? If I have a decent amount left. Yeah, I'm going to make this video in different parts. I'm going to do this is like part 1. So yeah, you guys will see me in part 2. So this is the results of my Raptor liner. I went with a red and black paint scheme. As you can see, I did a bunch of the trim red because it matched my XD wheels, but I painted those red too, but not with the Raptor. It came out pretty good, man. It came out pretty good. I love how it looks. It went on pretty easily. Easy to work with. I mean, the hardest thing for me personally is the taping. The taping, you have to, you got to put a couple hours into the taping. The painting itself, you can do that very quickly. I say it probably took like an hour to paint, but it took probably like 3-4 hours to tape off. Yeah, that's definitely where the work is. And as you can see, the taping is actually, the devil in the details. If you want it to come out good, you have to tape it well. If you don't want to have to touch up the splotchy spots, then yeah, you definitely need to tape it well. Else you're gonna have to go over it with a brush, something fine to catch all the spots. I like it. Let me see. What tips can I give you? Tips to give you. No one said, of all the videos I've seen, I haven't seen where anyone said, listen, you have to be cautious because the problem is these things come in, those quarts. And if you run out, you're going to have to pay $40 for another quart. Or if it's colored, it's going to be $50-something for another bottle. Before you mix the hardener, when you're mixing the color together and the black one, before you mix the hardener in, what I would suggest is pouring a little bit out into a bottle and then keeping that aside. Don't pour hardener into it. Keep it aside so that if there's any spots left, you can touch it up with that paint. You can do all the touch up with it, because there was a bunch of little spots here and there that I missed on mine. And of course I had to order 2 new bottles to touch up these little tiny spots that if I had just poured out a little and set it aside, it would have been enough to get the job done, and I wouldn't have to spend an extra $90 on 2 bottles that are almost completely full right now. So that would be my advice, especially if you're gonna go colors, because you're definitely gonna have to do some touch up. So yeah, I would suggest pouring a little bit aside into a sealed container, you know, after you mix the color up together, and don't put the hardener in it, and you can save it and use it for touch-ups. Yeah, this thing is great, man. I live in New York, and there are pretty much no others like this. Like I mean, first I got a 7-inch lift on the Suburban. You know, you don't see that here. It's only a few trucks you'll see like this here that are lifted, but to see one also lined, no, I've never seen it. Everybody loves it. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a few people who are like, oh, that's strange, but you know, it catches everyone's eye. Everyone is caught by surprise, and most people want to come up, they want to touch it, they want to see how it feels. You know, I have a couple people who've came up to me and been like, hey man, you know, can you do my car like this? You know, can you help me do it, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, you know, it's pretty popular, man, and it goes on easy. It's easy to handle, easy to spray on, easy as pie. I have a 80-gallon. Yeah, so I was saying I have an 80-gallon compressor, and honestly, you're spraying the whole thing. Maybe maybe the compressor refilled twice. You know, it refilled itself twice, and I think it's set at 90 psi. It goes down to 90, then pushes back up to 120. So it went down twice during my shooting. I even got the roof. I don't know if you can see the roof. I got the roof. Even the roof is done. And I mean, one of the added things that I've noticed about this is, well, I kind of figured it would make the body harder, of course, and more durable. But I have a pretty big system in my truck. I have a pretty big system back there. Those are two 15-inch, you know, 5,000 watt each subwoofers. And what would happen is, when the bass hits, the roof would rattle. The roof would flex and rattle. And since I put this Raptor Liner on the roof, it's quieted that down. It doesn't rattle like it used to. I mean, there's still a small rattle, but nothing like before. And yeah, so that's another added benefit of this Raptor Liner. When you're doing the two colors, you got to be careful of the overspray. Of course, you got to be careful of that. You got to take your time and paper it down properly. I even got under my wheel wells. My wheel wells are they're a little dirty right now, but I got under wheel wells. I got my step. I got the step. I got the tow hooks in the front. I painted my light bar, my upper light bar bracket. I painted that. You know, the top piece there, the rack. Even back here, like on a lot of these trucks back here, it gets really cruddy looking. And you know, I painted that. I painted everything in place. So even the bolt is covered, the pin, everything. And I ended up painting the skull, and then doing the inside of the eyes red. And yeah, it's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. I have no issues with it. Like I said, everybody loves it. It's a great product. I mean, it's hard to beat this. It's hard to beat it. You know, like I had changed the fenders. I changed my fenders because someone had hit me, and I changed the fenders, and I bought, you know, aftermarket eBay fenders, of course, and I tried to refinish it. And you know, blending the paint is almost impossible unless it's like a professional shop who's doing it. And I figured I would do this and see how it came out. And yeah, this is simple as pie. It looks very great, and yeah, I would suggest it to anyone. It's just, you know, you got to live with it. You can't back out of it. You know, try to take it off later on. I wouldn't see the point of that. So you got to be ready before you do it. But yeah, this is my reveal of it. It's a review. This is also a review of the Raptor Liner. It's a great product, man. I love it. So yeah, all right.